Hi everyone, my name is Justin. I'm going to be speaking today about party politics. This will be my very first YouTube video, so bear with me. I don't really know what I'm doing. But I spent most of my life as a Republican. It was probably because of the way that I was raised. See, I was always taught that Democrats wanted a large, intrusive uh, federal government, and the Republicans wanted a smaller, less intrusive government. I'm starting to notice that the differences between the two parties is starting to fade. See, most of my adult life, I didn't really care much about politics. Don't get me wrong, I would always vote. It's just after election day, I would ignore politics until the next election season. I believe that this is what a lot of people do. See, they live their lives day by day, not really caring about politics um, until it comes time to vote. Then they vote straight down the party line with no regard to voting on party, no regard to the consequences of voting on party and ignoring policy. It's sad if you think about it. People have become trapped in this reckless game of party politics. A dangerous game where people don't think anymore. They just vote based off of party name and ignore policy. And both parties are guilty of this. Let's look at the presidential election of 2012, for example. Republicans had a lot to choose from. They had Michelle Bachmann, Rick Santorum, Newt Gingrich, Rick Perry, Herman Cain, Ron Paul, and the eventual nominee, Mitt Romney. During the GOP primary, it seemed that everyone was on top for a little while, except Ron Paul. Everyone was critical of Romney and his health care law that he got passed in Massachusetts, Romneycare. This was a fundamental difference between the GOP candidates and Romney, and rightfully so. The Affordable Care Act, which is Obamacare, was modeled after Romneycare. Every candidate that was going against Romney opposed him on this issue. And the crowds were very responsive to the opposition. But eventually party politics won, and the GOP ended up nominating a man that was in support of government-run healthcare. Eventually, the Republicans started to rally behind this man, and they started that just months ago they were opposed to. And we started to hear things like, well, Romney's better than Obama, and I like Romney because he's electable. And my favorite of all was, I'm just voting for the less of two evils. I mean, are these people even paying attention to what they're saying? They're allowing the GOP leaders to dictate to them who their nominee is going to be by ignoring fundamental principles that they believe in just to get behind somebody that they didn't agree with in the first place. Obama supporters aren't really any different. I mean, the entire time that George W. Bush was in office, Democrats were very critical of the actions taken by the president. They claimed that Bush spent too much money, and they were critical of his wars. Well, Obama has already spent more money than Bush spent in 8 years in just 4 years. Obama supporters justify this debt by saying Obama has to spend money in order to fix the mistakes that Bush made. Like this is some kind of justification for Obama spending a third of the entire national debt in just 4 short years. Our country hasn't even seen a budget since Obama took office. Democrats claim that this is because Republicans have blocked anything that the president has put forth just to make him look bad. The problem with this theory is that the Democrats were in control of both the House and the Senate for the first 2 years of Obama's administration, and they still didn't get a budget passed. Obama hasn't stopped the wars either that he promised to do in 2008. As a matter of fact, we're in more wars now than what we were when Obama took office. This sweep it under the rug attitude that Democrats have toward the irresponsible actions taken by our current president is fueled by nothing more than their loyalty to the Democratic Party, and it has absolutely nothing to do with the logic that you cannot spend a third of the entire national debt in just 4 years and call that a good decision. This loyalty to party over policy is spun out of control. Republicans and Democrats have both increased spending on war and entitlements. Neither party seems to take the challenges that face our country seriously. They both continue to support the failed policies that got America into the trouble that it is today. $16 trillion in debt with no end in sight. I believe that Americans are looking for something different, and I believe that this is apparent by the way that Obama won in 2008 by repeating nothing more than the word change. As I observe the new trends that society is forming, I notice two new parties that are vastly different. See, the Democrats are starting to evolve from the old government is the solution to any problem to just government will just start supplying all your needs. And this is socialism. This isn't going to work. And a lot of Republicans are starting to break away from growing the size of government to libertarianism, smaller government, individual liberty, and fiscal responsibility. And I believe that more people will fall into this category over the next 4 years. If not by choice, they will do so out of necessity. The liberty movement is growing. People are starting to realize that maybe Dr. Paul was right. Maybe endless wars and entitlements are unsustainable, and we can't continue trillion-dollar deficits anymore. I believe that people are starting to realize that the Constitution was put there to protect them from a large intrusive government and was designed to empower the individual states. These principles of liberty are starting to resonate among young Americans. We understand that we're inheriting a fiscal mess, and we are losing basic freedoms affirmed to us in the Constitution. It's encouraging to see a group of young Americans, say that enough is enough. Thomas Jefferson did say that every generation needs its revolution, and I believe that we are approaching ours quickly. See, 20 years ago, no one was talking about the Federal Reserve, the Constitution, and today these topics are brought up regularly in political discussion. And I believe that this is a long overdue, healthy change in American politics. Hold on, I lost my place. Maybe then, nope. It's time America went back to its constitutional roots and started to filter the actions both parties are guilty of through the Constitution. Maybe then we could get back to a limited constitutional government, a government that doesn't get involved in the affairs of other nations, and one that doesn't think that any problem can be fixed by printing and spending. I believe that I truly hope that we come to this realization soon. America has been playing this left-wing, right-wing game for far too long. We've given up on the principles that made America the envy of other nations. A place where individuals could come and have an equal chance to excel under a free market capitalist society. A nation where individual freedom, along with personal responsibility, fueled the American dream of living as you see fit, as long as you don't intrude on other people's freedoms. This is why I've started to take an interest in politics. Dr. Paul is a big reason why I am the way I am today. He helped me open my eyes to the corruption of government and sparked my interest in the Constitution. My goal is to someday run for Congress, win, and become part of the solution. I'm tired of watching America ignore its founding documents and give up on its potential to be the best place to live, raise a family, and do business. It's time we the people start to ignore party labels and start paying attention to the policies and the votes that our representatives are making. If we don't, we'll lose America for good. And that's pretty much all I got to say. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my videos. Give it a thumbs up if you like it. And please comment. And have a good night.